Hello, welcome to today's video. This is First Time Moms, and on this channel, what we do here is talk about health for mothers, health for new and expectant moms. And if it's something you're interested in, join the family and let's dive right into today's video. When it comes to that first two babies passed after delivery, that is going to be the focus of this video. So we're going to be talking about the first stool after delivery and what you should expect as a parent. As we all know, stool is a form of waste the body tends to discard. When it comes to babies don't pass through while in the womb. They can pee, they can yawn, they can kick, they can do lots of activities while in the womb during pregnancy. But when it comes to stooling, babies don't pass stool in the womb. It is after delivery they pass their first stool. And this first stool is what we call the meconium. And that is where when your baby should pass through while in the womb, they can lead to a lot of complications. And one of such complications is what is called meconium aspiration syndrome. It can be dangerous for the baby. So in general, in a normal pregnancy journey, in a normal scenario, baby ought not to pass stool in the womb. The first stool is usually passed after delivery. So the first stool is usually passed between the first 24 hours to 48 hours after delivery. The parent or if you're expecting a baby, it's important you are aware of this duration because this duration can indicate when you should take action or when you should not worry at all. When it comes to stool in general, whether in adults, whether in babies, it's a sign that your digestive system is working. And this system does not just work on its own. You have signals being sent to the brain. This brain sends back signals to the intestines. So when it comes to stool in general, whether in babies or in adults, it's a sign that the digestive system is working. It's a sign that the anus too is also working. So if there's any blockage or there's any problem in the intestines or if there's any problem with the anus, if there's any problem with the things that are supposed to control the digestive system, because for instance, in a normal scenario as an individual, when you have stool in your body, what happens is that the brain, that's your brain receives a signal and tells your body that, oh, it is time for this stool to be passed out. These signals are sent back to your intestines, and before you know it, you are pressed, you run to the toilet, and that's practically what happens when it comes to passage of stool. So there's a problem with this signal. If there's a problem with the intestines, if there's a problem with where it is coming out from, which is anus, this can lead to problems. So if there's a problem in any of these parts, it's a sign that something needs to be done. So if a baby is not passing the stool for the first 24 hours to 48 hours, that baby needs to be checked as early as possible because it can be a sign that the intestines are not working. Sometimes we have things like what we call the H-Bronx disease. In this condition, what practically happens is that, like I said initially, when your body wants to discard stool or discard waste, signals are sent to the brain. This brain sends back signals to the intestines before you now have this urge. If your intestines cannot receive signals because there are cells designed to receive these specific signals for the passage of stool, if these cells designed for this purpose in the baby's intestines are not receiving these signals, the stool will just be seated there, the stool will just be there, and the baby is unable to pass it. And it's a problem that needs to be managed as early as possible. If there's a problem with this special cells, this baby will be unable to pass stool. If the intestines are blocked one way or the other, the baby will be unable to pass the stool. If the anus is blocked, the baby will also be unable to pass the stool. So when it comes to the first stool after delivery, it's not just something, oh, you say, oh, baby will pass it later. You need to pay attention to your baby's diaper. And baby needs to pass that stool within 24 to 48 hours, the first 24 to 48 hours, because it can be a signal that baby needs to be managed as early as possible. So when it comes to the first stool after delivery, it can be a sign that something is actually happening to that newborn. So do not just watch it and say, oh, let's see how it will go. No, don't do that. Sometimes in the newborn, the only symptom you may notice is that the baby hasn't passed the stool within the first 24 to 48 hours, and that needs to be checked. Sometimes there are other signs baby may have. Sometimes baby is uncomfortable. Some babies may even refuse to suck. They will refuse to feed. Some babies will just be crying excessively. They're unable to sleep. Sometimes the tummy is distended. The tummy is enlarged, looking abnormal. These are other signs some babies may even have in addition to the delayed passage of stool. Sometimes baby is just vomiting or unable to keep down the feeds you're giving the child. So when it comes to passage of stool, if you notice any of these signs at all, baby needs to be examined as early as possible. Do not just say, oh, let's watch it, let's observe how it goes. Baby needs to be managed as early as possible without delay. So when it comes to the first stool, it's so important. It's not something that should be ignored at all. Always pay attention to your baby's diaper, pay attention to the duration. When it comes to the first stool after delivery, it can actually be a pointer to something very serious that may be happening to the baby. So I hope this video is helpful and I hope to see you in our next video. And until then, bye.